Welcome to my music theory and reading music course. You can read every lesson in this series at your ease at pianotheoryexercises.com, where you will also find interactive exercises to practice what you've learned. Below this video you will find links to those lessons and exercises on the website. Also below this video you will find a link where you can download this whole music theory course as a free ebook, so don't miss this opportunity. And if my lessons helped you, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot! In lesson 12 of the music theory series, I'm going to talk about chord inversions. To illustrate what a chord inversion is, I will start with a very simple C major triad. That, as you know, consists of the notes C, E and G. We see that the note C, the root of the chord, is at the bottom of the chord. When I would move the note C an octave up, I would get this chord. It's still a C major triad, because it still consists of the same notes. Only the lowest note is now not the C, the root of the chord, but E, the major third. I could even move the lowest note, which is the E, an octave up to get this chord. This is still a C major triad. But now the fifth, the G, is the lowest note of the chord. When I would do this trick one more time and move the lowest note, the G, an octave up, I would get the same chord as in the beginning, with C at the bottom. Only now an octave higher than the C chord where we started with. This means that I can play the C major triad in 3 different positions, with the root at the bottom, the major third at the bottom, or the fifth at the bottom. We call the position with the root at the bottom the root position. The position with the major third at the bottom, the first inversion, and the position with G, the fifth at the bottom, the second inversion. So a triad can have 3 different positions: root position, first inversion and second inversion. You can do this, of course, with any triad. Let me first show a C minor triad. This is the C minor triad, as you know, C, E flat, G. This is the root position, since the root, C, is at the bottom. When I move the root an octave up, I get the C minor triad in first inversion. When I move now the minor third, which is at the bottom, an octave up, I get the C minor triad in second inversion. And of course, if I do this trick one more time, I'm back in root position but an octave higher. Let me just show you another chord, for example A minor, A, C, E. This is the root position, since the root A is at the bottom. This is the first inversion of the A minor triad, and this is the second inversion of the A minor triad. And of course, here I'm back in root position. Or A major, A, C sharp, E, root position, first inversion, second inversion. So I can play any triad in 3 different positions: root position, first inversion and second inversion. Let's look at 7th chords. I will start with the C dominant 7th chord. C, E, G, B flat, as you know. This is the root position, since the root, C, is at the bottom. When I move the root note an octave up, I get the first inversion. This is C dominant 7th in second inversion. And look what happens if we now move the 5th an octave up. We are still not back in root position. This is the third inversion. Only now when we move the minor 7th an octave up, I'm back in root position but 1 octave higher. That means that a 7th chord has 4 different positions: root position, first inversion, second inversion and third inversion. And of course I can do that with any 7th chord. C minor 7th, root position, first inversion, second inversion, third inversion. Let me show you this for A minor 7th, root position, first inversion, second inversion, third inversion, and of course, if I would move the G an octave up, I'm back in root position but one octave higher. Okay, let me, to finish, take one other chord, the E 7th chord, or E dominant 7th chord. This is the root position, first inversion, second inversion, third inversion. When you're playing music from a lead sheet or you're just improvising, it is of course very important that you can quickly move between several chords and their inversions. So it's very important to know all the chords and their inversions. And of course, you need to practice to know them all. The best thing is of course to practice them on the piano. But before doing that, it can be very helpful to practice them in interactive exercises. Now, you can find interactive exercises for chords and all their inversions on pianotheoryexercises.com. You will find a link below this video.